nice to see you today. Some big news, a complete shock. The club is bringing back Vanni Sartini. I know we're all surprised. Your thoughts on him coming back as the permanent head coach and how you're feeling about that?
Yeah, I fully support the decision of bringing him back. Vanni's a great guy, and I think he deserves it. I think he showed that, the last 3 months of the season, he's been in charge with us. The team, the players really bought into, his philosophy. He built a culture in such a short amount of time that really brought this team closer together. So I'm excited that, he has a chance to get a full season, and for this team to get a full season the way we ended. So I'm all happy.
We were just talking to Rusty, and Russell mentioned playoffs next year and getting a home playoff date. How do you think the team can improve upon the 6th place finish? I know it's going to be hard to do that with you finished 10-2-10, but how do you improve on that so you're stronger throughout the whole season next year and you're higher up in the standings?
Yeah, I think it's as simple as just building off of, those last 14 games, the last way we ended the season. We had a spell in, the middle of the season where we lost 5 straight games. And I think that's what really hurt us, because we weren't that far off from a home playoff game this season. So I think it's just building off of what we've, how we've grown and what, Vanni's instilled in this team. And it's just going forward from there and putting that all together and being consistent for an entire year.
Where do you think maybe the team needs some help or some depth on the pitch and during this offseason? Maybe some Christmas shopping?
No, it's Hanukkah for me too. So maybe we can do Hanukkah shopping. Hanukkah Harry can come. But no, I think that there's always room for improvement. I think there's always room to get more depth, to have, just kind of more of a competition at spots. I think that's what kind of brought out the best in us, towards the end of the season. I said this before, going into trainings when Vanni was in charge, you never really knew who was going to play. So those training sessions were some of the best trainings I've ever been a part of. And that's because of the competition. That's because everybody wanted to play, and having good players all around the field and multiple options all around the field. I think that's what makes the team better.
Final one from me. Happy Hanukkah to you and your family. What will you be doing this off season? You going back to Jersey, I assume?
Yes. Yeah. Me and my wife and the dog, we're headed back to New Jersey later this week. It's going to be nice to get home to see family. Haven't seen them in, about 10 months. So it's always nice to kind of relax, enjoy some time with, family, enjoy the holidays. And then, it's a quick turnaround. So we'll probably won't get too much time. And I'm kind of excited about that. I'm kind of excited to see what this team has and to get back to work.
Thank you, Har. We'll go to Gemma.
Hi, Jake. Sorry.
Hello.
Wondering if there's a memory or an emotion or a word that you would use to kind of describe this season as a whole.
Ooh. I think if you ask as a season as a whole, I think it was a bit of a roller coaster for us. Not starting off the season in Vancouver, going to Salt Lake, dealing with those struggles of, being away from home, being in a whole different environment. Having the season where we started off strong, went through a tough spot, and then we kind of hit our stride at the end. We had some ups and downs, but yeah, I would say roller coaster that, ended more on a high than on a low. Obviously we wanted to, go further in the playoffs, but to see how this season ended is exciting to see how next season can begin. And
what do you want to take away personally from how you played this season and bring into next season?
Yeah, this season I got a taste of a lot of different positions, pretty much all across the back line. And I ended the season playing center back. And I think that's what I want to focus on. I had a good talk with Vanni, and, he sees me there going forward. I think that, my skill set, my attributes fit that position well. I still have a lot to learn. I've only played, maybe 5 or 6 games at center back. And that's kind of something that I really want to work on. I want to make that position mine.
You talked a little bit about what this team might need, creating some extra competition for spots. What do you like about the group that's here? And compare to previous iterations of the team that you've played with in the past?
Yeah, I think that this team was the closest a team has been that I've been, been a part of professionally, since I've come to Vancouver. Towards the end of this season, the last, 4 or 5 months, we really came together as a team. We were really all there for each other. We wanted each other to do well. And that's something you don't really get that often. And, there were times where guys were upset they weren't playing, but they always, rooted on the other guys who were playing ahead of them. And I think that's something that we definitely need to build off of, and you definitely need to continue, because having, a team and players all cohesive as one, I think that's the strongest team.
Where do you think that closeness came from?
I think it was a combination of the players kind of coming together. We had a few meetings, throughout the season to kind of, air out what we wanted to kind of talk about and, vent a little bit and see what we can do better. And I think after those talks and, a combination of Vanni really, kind of bringing guys together, I think this team became stronger. And, it was a lot of fun the last few months of the season, just kind of getting out every day and training, being with your friends. It was a team where almost all of us hung out together outside of training, outside of, the facility as well. So I think that was a bond that was created, was really strong, was really good for this club.
Cool. Thank you kindly, sir. We'll talk to you in a month and a half, something like that.
Sounds good.
Bye.
All right, thanks, Gemma. We'll go to Jay.
Jake, happy Hanukkah to you and your family. Wishing you the best during the month of December. I was saying to Rusty, Vanni really was a breath of fresh air. And, my mom said to me, she said, I'm not a big soccer person, but there's just something about the guy. There's technical soccer coaches who are very, very good on that strong side of their personality. There's also people who are raw. When I look at Vanni, when I look at how you played, I saw an improvement on the technical side, but I also somebody who was genuinely caring about his people, but is also very genuine with his emotions. How would you describe Vanni Sartini?
Vanni Sartini, he's one of a kind. He's exactly how you think he is, in the facility, in the locker room as well. He brings energy every single day. He says some things that I don't understand sometimes, but it kind of gets me going every time. Maybe I got to start learning some Italian or maybe speak his language, because sometimes I think he's speaking his own language too. But, he's somebody that can always kind of corral a group, and he gets us ready to play every game, to every training session. And, that energy has been unmatched so far that I've experienced.
There's coaches that can reach people in a different way, but I think he reaches everybody the exact same way by being who he is.
Yeah. He's, I've known him for 2 years now, and he hasn't changed the way he is at all. He talks to everybody the same way. He treats every player the same. He treats every staff member the same as he would treat a player. So, it's great to have him around. He's first off a good person, and I think he's a very good coach. And I think we're really, excited to have him going forward.
You've been with this side now for a few seasons, Jake. Where do you see where this team is at? I mean, I thought there was something really special happening. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way in Kansas, but where do you see this organization is at? How much better are you going to be? And I think you were a side that was really feared, Jake, in the last probably 35 days of the regular season. And I think it bodes well for 2022. Where do you see your guys honestly being at?
Honestly, I think the expectation, needs to be playoffs and a home playoff game. The way that we ended this season, I think we showed not only ourselves, not only our fans, but the entire MLS that, we're a team that is feared now. We're a team that, you don't think you're just going to come in, get 3 points. And even when we go on the road too, we're tough to play. So that just all needs to kind of come together again for an entire season. And if it does, there's no doubt in my mind that we'll get a home game.
Thanks, Jake. Be well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. We'll go to Max.
Hi, Jake. Hope you're doing well. I believe we know the first 2 games of next season. Both will be played on Saturdays. So far, it doesn't seem like you'll be playing on Wednesdays again like last year. You used to do Wednesday away matches and then you go back home on the weekends. Do you know what the full regular season schedule looks like? Do you have an idea? If so, do you think it will probably be more light on the players this time around?
I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea what the season's going to look like. I didn't even know that we were going to be playing Eastern Conference teams again, but I'm happy about that because my family gets to see me play a bit more. But no, unfortunately, I don't know what the season looks like. I know that it is the season ends a bit earlier, so maybe games will become more condensed with with World Cup coming up. So I'm not sure, but we're kind of used to those Wednesday games. So if they come up again this season, we know how to be well equipped for them.
Sounds good. That's all for me.
Just a quick update, the full schedule will be announced in the coming weeks. We'll go one more for Jake from Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Jake, hope you're well. Just one for me here. Just want to kind of ask about the improvements in the back line at the end of the year. You kind of mentioned that you were a big part of that, but your team started giving up less chances, started conceding less goals. What did you feel that you guys did well, and how important is maintaining that into next year? Sorry.
Yeah, I don't attribute it just to our back line. I think it's kind of a whole team thing where I think everyone kind of bought into the entire team needs to defend when we're not on the ball. We need to shift with each other. We need to cover for each other, when somebody gets beat, and we need to be in spots where we can win the ball when crosses come in or when, balls are played through the midfield. So I think that it was coming together as an entire team to defend as one. And you can also look at probably Max, being a big part of that. I think he definitely got snubbed for even being a finalist for goalkeeper of the year. But if you just sit back and watch what he does, I think that he's a big contribution to that.
All right. Thank you, Alex. And thank you very much, Jake, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jake.
Good job, Jake.
We will now transition to Mr. Brian White. Again, if you have questions for Brian, please queue up in the chat. We'll get going right with Har. Go ahead, Har.
Hi, Brian. Good morning. Some very surprising news. I don't think anyone saw it coming. Vanni Sartini re-upped 2-year contract. How are you feeling about that? Are you excited? Tell us, please.
Yeah, I think everyone in the locker room is excited. He came in and brought such a great energy. Everyone kind of bought into his message, his tactics. And it was a great push at the end of the year. So we're really excited to see what he can lead us with in the next year.
How do you feel about the team's offense going forward into next season? Obviously, you led the team in goals. You had a great second half when you came and joined the team. But how can the team improve upon that offense? It's a lot for you to carry the team again next year offensively.
Yeah, I think we want to continue to improve in the final third as well as every other third of the game. I think that comes down to, continuing to improve relationships on the field, understanding each other's movements, maybe becoming a little bit more clever when the team's sitting in and different kind of runs and passes we can find at top of the box. So little things like that, I think will go a long way in helping us be more successful next year.
Offensively, though, do you think maybe the team needs some more depth at the striker position to kind of help out the guys that are currently with the team and add some competition as well?
I think we have, a great locker room right now. A lot of great guys that could come in and play and compete. Kava, Egbo just came back, and Toss was there. So I think there's a lot of guys that can come in and help compete and help the team win games.
Now, we just found out during this Zoom that the preseason schedule has been released. The team's going to go to San Diego. I believe you guys are back here around the 17th. So what does your off season look like? It's going to be relatively short. You going back to Jersey, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I've been back in Jersey. It's been nice to be back for Thanksgiving and around for the holiday season. So hopefully I'll see some friends and some family, and going on a holiday to Mexico right before I head back to Vancouver for preseason. So I'm excited just to get back home and kind of see friends and families I don't get to see very often.
You'll have to bring some sunshine back from Mexico. When you guys do return, you're going to play away to Columbus and then home to New York City FC. Your thoughts on playing the Eastern Conference opponents next year? You haven't done that in a while. I know Jake didn't know that off the bat, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. It shows that, the league's going to get a little bit back to the more normal way of things, going to the East Coast, playing those teams. And I think it's exciting just to, kind of change it up and not play the same team 3 or 4 times in a regular season. So I'm excited. We're excited for the chance to challenge ourselves against other opponents that we didn't get to play this past year.
Thanks, Brian. Have a good offseason. We'll see you next year.
Thank you, Har. We'll go to Josh.
Hi, Brian. Jake mentioned how close the team is on and off the field. I was just wondering if that's something that you feel can be advantageous as you move forward into next year.
Yeah, I think anytime you have a group of guys that not only play well together, but enjoy each other's companies and are friends off the field, I think it goes a long way in building that camaraderie, that feeling on the field of being able to connect with each other and understand each other's movements. So I think it does go a long way. It's something that is very special to be a part of, and it's been great to share the locker room with those guys.
Obviously, watching the games, you can kind of see that closeness. Do you think that it translates even more on the pitch when a team is that close?
Yeah, I think I think it does translate when a team's not close, when things aren't clicking off the field. I think it definitely shows on the field, whether it be tension in the locker room, whatever it may be. But having a group of guys that really enjoy spending time together, everyone hangs out, laughs, has a good time, jokes with each other. There's no cliques in the locker room. So I think it shows on the field in that sense, because you see us and you see the way we play. Everyone's bought into the message. Everyone's playing together. And I think it's a real good group we have.
So, Brian, it's been a interesting season for you. I guess you've made 3 different places your homes here in 2021. How excited are you to just be able to settle down in Vancouver and just start focusing on football?
Yeah, see, there was a lot of moving pieces for me this past year, so it'll be nice to get back to Vancouver and kind of make that my home for the year. Sign a lease for an apartment at the end of the year, so looking forward to putting some roots down, getting some furniture in there, and really making it a home.
Awesome. Best of luck, and have a great offseason. We'll talk to you next season.
Thanks, Josh. We'll go to Gemma.
So did you find a spot for the game ball from your hat trick game?
Not yet. I'm still working on the furniture placements right now, so I will though.
You've got some time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Get it. Do you get them encased in glass or something? I'm obviously not.
No, I think I still have it in the locker room right now.
Oh, really?
Actually. Yeah.
Awesome. I want to talk to you about your move to Vancouver. What is it about this club, and even with all of the adversity that you guys face, being down in the standings, moving back to Vancouver from Salt Lake City, what is it about coming to this team that you found another gear in your game, it seems?
Yeah, like I've said before, finding a place that valued me meant a lot. Coming in and I came into the team, played a lot of games right away. And granted, the results weren't really going our way, and I kept saying it would just take time. The first goal would come, and then it would snowball a bit, and then we had players like Ryan and Flo, and things just started to come together even more. So for me, it meant a lot to be involved in a group with a club with teammates that valued me and saw me producing and had value in me. So I was able to build off of those feelings, those emotions, and really continue just to grow my game within the team, and having guys around me that the team brought in, and working with them, they made my life easier. They helped me score goals and therefore helped the team win. So it's just a really cohesive group that I think worked well together, and it was great to be a part of.
So do you guys have a text group or something to kind of keep that banter going, keep that cohesion going over the next 6 weeks or whatever, that you're all doing your own thing?
Yeah, there's a players only group chat, definitely.
No Vanni allowed?
No.
What's going to be the enduring memory of this season for you? What 10, 15 years down the road will you look back on and say, wow, 2021?
I think just the overall story of it, from going to Salt Lake and being at the bottom, literally at the bottom of the table, to coming home and making the run that we had and make it into the playoffs. Unfortunately, it came short, obviously, but I think that whole story of the way the team felt, the way the fans in the city kind of got behind us and supported us, I think it was a memorable year for sure.
Mm-hmm. And for you to go from never having played in BC Place to then the end of the final game at home this year, 25,000 people in the stands, that Stand By Me at the end, all of that. What was that like for you to kind of feel what Vancouver has to offer?
Yeah, it felt really, really special. I think the fans can see that there's something here, that there's, more to come with this team, especially in 2022, that we're, really excited for. And it means a lot that the fans would come out and support us like that. And we're just looking forward to getting back out there again against New York City next year.
Awesome. Thank you kindly, sir, and have a wonderful off season.